welcome everyone to Navigate STO Schools, a podcast. We are here with Dr. Albert Sanders today. Dr. Sanders, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Dr. Sanders, and I'm a PreK teacher in St. Louis Public Schools, and I've been teaching. This is my 22nd year, believe it or not. I know I look good for 22 years of teaching, but I'm born and raised in St. Louis. I attended St. Louis Public Schools for 1 year, and then back then my mother we did the desegregation program. So I was in the Athens School District from first grade, and that's where I graduated from.
Awesome. Well, you answered my first question, which is tell us about your K-12 education story. Is there more you want to add to that?
Not really, but being in the deseg program, it allowed me to understand and to be able to, not to play on words, but navigate the system. But navigate the system through all different cultures and races to be able to come to different things, to be able to basically navigate the system.
Awesome. So tell us about the work that you do and what inspires you.
The work that I do is I teach pre-K students. Well, I say I teach them, I work with them, I guide them. But and what inspires me are the families, the students. They inspire me to teach, to be there for them. When I have a parent who comes back who has 3 kids and all 3 kids, she wants to come through my classroom, it's amazing. So that's what inspires me.
So tell me about something that's unexpected that you've encountered in doing the work that you do, and why is that significant for you?
I think there's a couple things, but once when I was student teaching at the time. We did 8 weeks in an urban setting and then 8 weeks in a suburban setting. And naturally, I chose Afton as my suburban setting since I went to school there. And I was placed in St. Louis Public Schools. Didn't know much about them because I was only there for kindergarten. But after my 8 weeks in kindergarten, the pre-K class I was in, we did a doctor. It wasn't doctor at the time, but we did Mr. Sanders is leaving, and I had one little girl. Her name was Brandy, and she cried. She cried on that last day, and I was like, man, this is where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to work. Had aspirations of going back to the district I graduated from. But when she cried, it just showed me that she cried, and a couple other students, followed her. But it was just like, this is where I'm supposed to be. And so this is where I am.
Awesome. That's so great. So you're talking a lot about your passion for pre-K and helping kids. Right now, universal pre-K is a really hot political topic. What do you think are the benefits to families and kids, and is there a downside to that?
The benefits, if it's implemented correctly, the benefits could be that we know that all of our students 3 to 5 year old will be ready for kindergarten once they enter to the K-12 setting. And so that's the benefits, is that we know they'll be ready. We know that they'll have the background to be ready for the K-12 environment. Now, some downfalls, it could be our local, I'll say mom and pops, but our locally run child care centers, they may not, we may lose some of those because of they're losing the population of their students if it's provided publicly, universally. And the other downfall is we don't want to get to where we run away from quality just to provide a service. Because sometimes when you go into things, when you do things, you say, oh, we're doing it, and that's what matters. But it's not just doing it; it's actually doing it with a reason, for a reason. So we don't want the quality that is provided at some of the child care centers around St. Louis, but also overall that quality stays there. So I think that could be besides hurting some of the some of the child care centers, home daycare child care centers. Also, we don't want to mess with quality.
Yeah, you spoke about quality. We know that 1 year of quality pre-K can reduce the elementary gap significantly. What do you think actually defines quality in pre-K, and what's your vision for like early child care education in the region?
I actually looked this up, I had this question before. So I said, because quality, it goes back and forth. Everybody says, what is quality? I looked it up and then I said, no, I don't want a definition of what somebody else says. What do I think is quality? And I think that's what we want. And I said, it provides an environment where families, especially kids, feel comfortable. But the quality is also providing necessary resources and skills, not just academically, but more socially, for students to be prepared for the K-12 environment. And my vision is that we have an equitable system that no matter where you are in the St. Louis region, we have an equitable system that I can go anywhere, if it's across Del Mar, if it's deep South Side, if it's St. Charles County or St. Louis County, that everyone has an equitable system that no matter where I live, I'm going to get the best product for my child.
Yeah, so we know St. Louis is segregated. And you kind of mentioned the Del Mar Divide. I guess my question to you next is, we spoke with Black male educators early in the season, and we had Daryl Diggs on it. He talked about his challenges. You've won the Educator of the Year award as a Black man doing early child care education. Can you talk a little bit about your experiences when it comes to working in a public school district, when it comes to the history of St. Louis and education and all that coming into play? Like, first off, you rarely see men in early education, let alone Black men. So what's your experience like in that space?
My experience is that people are amazed and thrilled that I'm in early childhood education. I just do it because that's what I do. I didn't go into it for the notoriety. I went into it because, okay, this is my calling, I guess, and I fell in love with it. But as I realized how the impact of Black males in any education is tremendous, and his studies show that a Black child who has a Black male educator is more likely to graduate high school, and all that. It's a bunch of studies. But in elementary, we have kids need to see people who look like themselves. Whether it's a Black male, Black female, a male in general. I mean, they need to see people who look like themselves. So I think I provide that. Did I go into it for that? No, but do I have to take that on and say, yes, that is part of my persona? Yes. But I don't, I teach because I love it. But when it comes to like being an educator of the year, I was a regional educator of the year, and I got to go to different parts of the state to hear and see and talk to people who wish that I was at their school, wish that they had male elementary teachers, Black male elementary teachers, and the impact that me being on different state committees has as a positive for St. Louis Public Schools, because it's like, okay, we got somebody who represents us across the state. And I mean, is it something hard to carry? Yes, but at the same time, I think it's necessary to know that in St. Louis, we're providing education for our students. No matter what test scores say, no matter what anything is, what it said, we're providing a quality education. But you just got to come check us out and to hear about it.
So, okay, speaking of test scores and all that other stuff, what do you think is the greatest challenge facing the parents and the students when it comes to education in St. Louis?
The greatest challenge is the naysayers.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the greatest challenge is the people, the naysayers, that don't believe that the education system in St. Louis is where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I can guarantee you ask most parents, and most of my parents I know, but no, most parents across the city who are educating their students in this system, I would say most of them do enjoy their educational experience. Now, when you turn on the news, being one of the second biggest district in the second biggest district in the state, or third biggest now, I guess. But overall, we're probably the first. You don't see all the good stuff that's going on. You don't see all the, all the great stuff that's education system in St. Louis is providing. You only see all the negative stuff, but you don't see the kids who want to make a difference, who learn how to plant a seed and watch it grow from a seed to a potato or a tomato. You don't see that, but it's happening. It's happening in every school district, every school in the city.
So in St. Louis City in general, right? About 40% of families have access to free pre-K. There's people doing a lot of work in this space with the STL PreK Collaborative. St. Louis Public Schools sponsors a couple of pre-K classes. You have some really great centers like Southside and others. But still, especially when it comes to Black and brown neighborhoods, St. Louis doesn't require the students go to kindergarten. So they're starting schools late, or they don't necessarily have the options in their own neighborhoods. What opportunities do you think that families should consider when it comes to choosing pre-K, and how do we better equip them to take advantage of those?
I think the first part about what parents should do, I tell all parents this, is visit a school and make sure you feel comfortable in what you're doing with in that school. Make sure you feel comfortable, your child feels comfortable. My ultimate goal every year is to make sure that students want to come to school no matter what. And that's my ultimate goal. And I think over my years, I think I only had one student who woke up didn't want to come to school. But that's my ultimate goal, is for everybody to want to come to school. And if you build that relationship with the parents, with the families, then they want to send your child out. They trust you. And I would say, you might not be doing anything. I just said it, but the parents trust you if you build that relationship, and they know you're doing something. They know you're gonna move their child along. When in the St. Louis region, yes, it's a state. You don't have to go to school till you're 7 years old. Why? That doesn't make any sense. And so, do we have enough available equitable seats in the city? No. You mentioned Southside. You mentioned the PreK Collaborative. St. Louis Public Schools, I think we have over 22,000 seats available, but I think we have over 10,000 children from 0 to 5 that are in the system. It's different things that are going on to help that. Recently, like We Power, they came out with the playbook, which basically says is how to provide from 0 to 5 to provide quality, equitable education across the city. And out of that playbook came the regional coordinating entity, which is the temporary name. And what it is it's going to be a spot where parents can navigate the system. I said navigate again, but where parents can navigate the system, where they can come, and that's the ultimate goal, is to how to make sure we have parents can navigate the system, child care providers can navigate the system, so that I mentioned mom and pops earlier, the home child care centers. Okay, how can we get quality? How can I make sure that I'm providing a quality service for my families? Okay, you can come to the RCE, it's a temporary name, but a regional coordinating entity is what it is. But you can come there and we can say, okay, we have some training. We can connect you with St. Louis Public Schools or the PreK Collaborative to show you some things that you can do, that you can send your teachers through, or that person can go through. So it's believing in changing the system without believing in changing the system, and believe that people have good ideas on how to change the system, and they're not just there just to do it.
As we're talking about changing the system, what gives you hope for the future of pre-K education in St. Louis?
When finally our state has got on board, with the early learning department, so they have it dedicated to early learning. So in St. Louis, we're going to have a hub. So the state is starting to believe. So that means, eventually a little money is going to start flowing in, a little more money is going to start flowing in. And so I know that people, once you start believing in their early education, because early education makes such a difference, Once you start believing in that and money start going into that, it will make a, it's gonna make a difference. And then just again, the different players who are trying to make more available seats, and the number one word is equitable. It's that, and makes equitable seats so that everybody has a chance to attend a center. It could be a home child care center. It could be a PreK center. It could be a school district, St. Louis Public School District, but it could be a charter school, whatever it is, a system that believes in making the child better.
So what can organizations like Navigate STL Schools do to support families in this journey? Like, we don't really put PreK centers on our website because there isn't a standardization of quality. So it's really hard to compare one center to another. We want to support them in helping the families prepare for kindergarten, but what can we do outside of helping to help them understand the importance of getting in early for education?
With Navigate St. Louis, I would say, you have to visit, like you mentioned, Southside. Or have people, home care providers, which you can get, a list of that people are reputable, and have them come in and actually talk about what they do. Mm-hmm. And then those people can actually guide you to other places, navigate you to other places. They can guide you to other places that are providing these quality, so you can not necessarily rate them, but know that they're there and that they are providing something. And once you talk to those center owners or directors, they'll be able to say, okay, you can talk to our parents. Parents make a difference. If parents know, no matter how parents care about their kids, they want the best for their children, no matter what. And sometimes, I don't have a choice. I work here. I have to send them here. But parents still will tell you the truth. And so talking to parents really will get you a better feel of what's going on. I can tell you a couple centers I think are amazing. But that's me saying, because I may know the director, I may know the owner, like, oh yeah, they're amazing. But when you talk to parents, that's what I think really makes a difference.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time today. Your shirt says PreK matters. PreK matters. The earlier you start in education, the better chance your child has. Thank you for your time today, and thank you all for listening.
All right, and thank you.
Thank you.